They'll be up, and you can see them all in their entirety. They will be up in individual videos and in playlist form.
Alright guys, well, game number 3 going to be played on Overgrowth between Overdose and Deimos Esports Community. We have a Protoss versus Random. Random, not a race we see too often, so it's going to be exciting to see how Zapper plays. If he is as cheesy as everybody says random players are, or if he's like me whenever he plays random macros. I'm curious to see. Alrighty, we are in the game up here in the top left side of the map. Overgrowth. One of the newer maps to the ladder pool. We have playing for his respective clan going by the name of Overdose. The red Protoss player looking to take at least one game so far. It's Bleek, who may have a bleak outlook on this game considering he's playing random. And down here in the bottom left, the map Overgrowth, rolling the race we like to call Terran, playing for his respective clan, going by the name of Deimos Esports Community, yellow Terran / random player. It's Zapper. Zapper is saying he needs the advantage of not telling his opponent the race, as he needs the slight advantage he gets out of it since he plays bad. And you know, it's fine if that's what he thinks. That's okay. Nobody's gonna judge him. And Bleek is going to go ahead and go for the safer opening. He knows, okay, if it's Zerg, yeah, I'm a little bit behind, but I can still put on some through-gate pressure behind my gate expand, which is what he's going to be looking to do. And if it's PvP, this is a good opening, because I can throw down double gas early on it. And if it's a PvT, as we can see it is, he's going to be feeling great. Yeah, there's that 14 gas from Bleek, and the 12 barracks from Zapper. No gas so far from Zapper, so this is kind of interesting. I'd like to see him throw down a gas and try a Reaper. Now, Reapers aren't the best on this map, unfortunately, but there's a couple of ways in that you can surprise the Protoss here a little bit early on before they have that Mothership Core and Stalker ready. But it doesn't look like Zapper is going to do anything of that sort. He's just going to go for a 1 barracks, expand by the looks of things, which is okay. You know, it's nice and balanced. You don't get any huge economic burst like you would with a command center first, like we saw from your last game, and you don't get any massive scouting or scare potential, I guess, of the Reaper like we've seen the other Terran players throughout. So, you know, it's Zapper's build. You know, that's fine. This is probably what he does every game. So he feels comfortable, and in a clan war, it's better for you to stick with what you're comfortable with rather than you trying out something else and then just dying and then, you know, you not really knowing what you did wrong because it's the first time you played that style. So there's a command center from Zapper, and we've got the Cybernetics Core coming in now for Bleek, and he's only got 1 gas running right now, which is fine, making the Zealot. Bleek is anticipating maybe a Protoss or a Zerg perhaps, but the Zealot, this SCV is going to get in here and he's going to say, alright, the Zealot may have been a little bit useless, but again, the Zealot may not be useless, as he can create a Stalker and with that Mothership Core, go ahead and go across the map with the Stalker and the Mothership Core joining that Zealot, and see if you can't do any damage. Now, I think the good thing about a Rax expand here is you get a decent amount of Marines out early, and you're not cutting any kind of corners like with the Reaper. This attack could do a little bit more damage, but with a Rax expand, it's not as vulnerable. As again, you get this decently early bunker, and you get a couple of earlier Marines than a normal Terran player that went Reaper expand would have. So Bleek gonna throw down his Nexus now, and this SCV gonna park itself, hide itself, and look and see if it can't make itself useful later on. Now we've got the Mothership Core, Zealot, and Stalker just sitting here at the top of the ramp for Bleek, maybe anticipating some kind of aggression. We have a 2nd barracks coming down for Zapper, not a 3rd barracks quite yet, because he doesn't quite have the money for it. Not producing any more Marines either, so just 2 of them. Not going to put that guy in the bunker? No, still leave that Marine outside? Okay, well, that's fine. Probe coming in now for Bleek, and I think he will know exactly what this is. He's going to come in here, he's going to see this 1 Marine in the bunker, 1 Marine outside of the bunker, going to see the command center, and he's actually not going to get up here. Did he see the command center? No, but he saw a bunker. And why else would a Terran have a bunker unless they expand it? At least down at the National, anyway. SCV going to look to make its way back in here for Zapper. Let's see if this SCV gets lucky enough to get past all these units. I don't think so, as a 2nd Stalker pops out, and unfortunately, this SCV has a bleak outlook. That is very unfortunate for him, and yes, it's going to get denied completely. No tech choice so far from Bleek, no Robo, no Twilight Council, no Stargate. So looking to see what he decides to throw. He does have 150 gas, so I think it's going to be Stargate. Banking up that much gas is definitely usually indicative of a Stargate. And it's going to be a Robo. Never mind, making me look bad. That's okay. I get, you players make me look bad all the time. And that's the risk I take making predictions. Looks like Zapper gets a really nice scan off, going to be able to see the Robo, and going to be able to see the gateway count, also going to be able to see the Cybernetic Squirrel working away on a warp gate. And he's going to go ahead and get a third barracks and start up that factory here. And no +1 being researched quite yet, as he did not have the money. But I'm surprised that we didn't see any aggression from Zapper, because general consensus of random players is they're cheesy. You need to prepare for everything, and you know this is something that Zapper can do. He can just play macro, and he's fine. 2 gases coming now for Zapper, and there's been no aggression thus far in the game, so nothing really to hype this game up anymore, other than it's a random player playing. You know, it is what it is. Stim pack about halfway completed. Zapper making that tech lab just about to finish up, and he's supply blocked for quite a while, 46 out of 46. Now Zapper looks like he's going to push forward with a small group of units, look to make something happen, maybe force a photon overcharge, but Bleek is not going to care about that photon overcharge, man. He's got 179 energy. He doesn't care. He's almost got 200 energy. He's not going to mind that at all. So +1 weapons coming in for Bleek instead of the armor. So that leads me to believe he's going to be looked to be aggressive here, as it lets the Protoss units deal a little bit more damage rather than soak it. And here we go. Zapper's units going to come in here, see what they can do. Photon overcharge is going to be used here by Bleek. Going to get 2 probes, is Zapper, and then be forced away by the photon overcharge. Actually loses a Marauder in the process, but he sacrificed himself to save everyone else. So he's going to go down as a saint in the minds and hearts of those Terran troops that just witnessed his death. And we've got the robotics bay coming down now for Bleek. 2 more gateways as well, so looking to go for that Colossus tech. And he may be doing an all-in, because this +1 attack is something, it's generally it's +1 armor first. And the attack tells me he's looking to be somewhat aggressive. It's just going to let his units deal a little bit more damage than normal. And we got Zapper taking his third base in location, +1 attack nearing completion for Zapper, so he may look to make something happen yet again. Starport with the reactor is starting to crank out those medevacs 2 at a time, and this bunker is just left empty, sitting here with no use, at least for now. And that robotics bay is finishing up, so how many Colossus is Bleek going to build, and is he going to build a 4th base, or 3rd base rather, not a 4th base, what? Yeah, double expand before you build any Colossus. That's the new meta. Straight up, I've made the new meta. It's official. Not really. Alright, looks like Bleek is going to go ahead and go for that 3rd base, so not going to be an all-in by any means. These units are going to deal a little bit more damage, and I think I'd like to see Bleek, instead of going for single forge and then going for the +1 attack, I'd like to see him go for double forge and go for a 1-1. Because generally, Protoss players are going to be playing defensive. We'll be using that +1 armor instead of that attack. Now we have this double medevac drop making its way to the right side of the map, so we'll have to see how much damage I can get done on the main, as well as the small little ragtag band of Marines and a Marauder, see if they can't get anything done. And this medevac's going to look to draw Bleek out of position, or these units at the front going to look to draw Bleek out of position, and then the drop's going to go in. There's nothing here for Bleek. There's a cannon. A single cannon is not going to deter these double medevacs. Unfortunately, this guy's going to get in another cannon in the mineral line, but I don't think it's going to be enough, as they're not targeting the medevacs. This Colossi coming back to save the day. Will it be able to? The stim pack being activated in the 3rd base, under threat now by this ragtag band of Marines and Marauders. The drop going to be dealt with here first by Bleek. Bleek not being able to split off enough units to deal with that drop. The drop in the main base doing a ton of damage, killing the Colossus for free, killing an Immortal, and this is a ton of damage here for Zapper. This is a great tactic. This is exactly what he wanted to do. Cancels the 3rd base as well. What a great sense of where Bleek is able to be vulnerable, and also a great sense of expansion timing from a Protoss player. Dope, says Bleek, and he's clearly not very happy with what he's done. Zapper giving him the smiley face, saying, "Look what I've done. Aren't you happy for me?" And unfortunately, I don't think Bleek is going to respond yes to that question. Now, all these units going to be left for dead here just to buy Zapper a little bit more time. You're going to get out with one oh, no, both medevacs going to die. That cannon paid for itself in the end. I didn't think it was going to be that useful, but in the end, it killed both medevacs. 3rd base established for Zapper, and here we go. Zapper moving out with a 1-1 Bioforce. 1-1 just about to be completed, but a Colossus was killed, and ordinarily Bleek would like to have 2 Colossi at this point, but he only has 1. One behind Dark Shrine, And 28 workers were killed there, as Cypher rightly points out. Thank you very much, good sir. He is the streamer, so I'd like to thank him for streaming. We'll wait for this fight to get underway, and here we go. The fight may happen. One Widow Mine going to be taken out, another Widow Mine going to die. There's an observer here. Nice time warp here by Bleek here, and is Zapper going to be able to break through? I don't know if he's got enough here. This is Colossus that's just sitting in the back doing a ton of damage. He's going to have to be able to actually break through the meat and may be able to get this Colossi as well. This Colossi is going to go down there just at the last second, and Zapper has a small group of units still here, still doing damage, and this other Colossi, man, being a hero, taking out 2 more Widow Mines. And I think Zapper's going to be forced back home. Unfortunately, he's actually going to lift up, go right to the natural, which is a nice little feature of this map here for Terran. Probes being pulled now by Bleek, knowing he doesn't want to lose any more of this Colossi, just out in the open, deciding, I don't want to participate in this fight. I'm a pacifist, forget this business. And Bleek, not producing much of anything right now. This Colossi is still here, these Zealots are still down here, could be used to fight. Dark Shrine is done now for Bleek as well, so GT harassment definitely potential. But if this natural goes down, this is going to be huge for Zapper. It is going to go down. Mothership Core going to be canceled in that production tab, and that's a great move by Zapper. And now, how is Bleek going to be able to defend the main and the third at the same time? He's going to have to make sure his splitting of his units are perfect, and denying these drops and also these attacks coming at the third, as they are inevitable. And here we go, another group of units being made by the third for Zapper. Is he going to be able to get anything done? There's 2 Colossi now for Bleek, so I think he will be okay. Viking production going to have to be started here for Zapper, and he's killing a few units, and every unit here for Bleek is pretty crucial, as if they die, those Colossus are left vulnerable, and they will die without support. It looks like Zapper going to pick up and will look to do a double back and drop into the third base here behind this mineral line. Bleek now look to go back to the natural, anticipating perhaps a drop. These medevacs going to come right in here, and they're not going to drop their units. Never mind. They're just going to sit there and say, "Hey, I have units. You better react, or else you're going to lose this." The natural may die once again here by Zapper, and Zapper pulling off 1 medevac, actually bringing it back to drop the third base. I like that a lot. Colossus coming out from the main base will be able to hold that drop off. It looks like this drop's doing a lot of damage for Zapper here, though, getting a decent amount of probes being lifted up, not losing a single unit, and going to force Bleek to be in an even scarier position. And here we go, a massive 2-2 force now for Zapper. 43 workers have been killed this entire game. And look at the upgrades, only 1-1 for Bleek, 2-2 for Zapper. Zapper's got that third base up and running, fully saturated on those minerals. 4th command center nearing 3/4 to completion. 3-3 on the way for Zapper now, and this is a very, very scary game for Bleek. Very, 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 very scary game. I don't know how much longer he can really hold on. He has no more Storm. He's only got these 3 Colossi, which Vikings are starting to hit the field to really deal with those guys. Double medevacs being loaded up again by Zapper, going to look to go on the main base. How much damage is he going to be able to get done this time? +2 armor starting out for Bleek, as he knows he's got to do something. He's got to be able to soak more damage than currently his units are soaking for him. 4th Nexus going to be look to be taken by Bleek, and Bleek knows, man, he's got to cut corners somewhere. He's got to try to get himself back in this game. Going to look to do it economically instead of taking a fight, and I like that decision, but he doesn't have enough. 110 army to supply to 200. The drop going into the main base here, going to start going after some pylons. May go after the Dark Shrine, may go after the Robo. Looks like the Robo is still alive. The Stalkers and Colossi are going to be forced back all the way to the main base, but the third base going down almost immediately by this massive Bioforce. This drop doing a lot of damage, killing off the main Nexus. The third Nexus is dead, so there's only 2 Nexi left for Bleek, and only one of them is mining. One is still in production. 4th base going to be taken now for Zapper. And these DTs doing a little bit of work, but is it going to be enough? I don't know. These 3 Colossi do still stand strong, however. And ooh, some friendly fire being done there. That's kind of unfortunate for those guys, but this Nexus is only halfway completed, so excuse me, Bleek is only effectively on 1 mining base. And GG, for Bleek, understanding he cannot take the onslaught any longer. Wow. Wow. So I think the big thing there was that first double drop from Zapper. It was able to get in, it was able to do a ton of damage, it was able to cancel the third base with the push while that double drop was going on, and it was just really, really well played there by Zapper, understanding how he can really do something against Protoss.
I think it was a combination of Zapper's good drops. I think Bleek's response was a little bit slow, just to the one in the main.
Yeah, it was.
And then Zapper is also peculiar as a dropper in that he, instead of picking up and just leaving and coming back and like 45 seconds to a minute, he picks up and then he drops to the base like right next to it. Like a lot of people
Yeah,
wouldn't expect that.
yeah.
So, and his macro was good.
Yeah, his macro was really good. The current score is 3-0 for Deimos Esports community. So their players, man, looking really strong. Their players are looking quite strong. So we're gonna
I
have to
thought
wait for the next now.
I thought we won one.
Did we? I don't think we did.
Oh, was Fugu our guy or is it their guy?
No, it was Deimos. It was
S-
Deimos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's see. Overgrowth. It was the Deimos player. Habitation was the Fugu versus Ear game. And then the first game was Dian Style versus Blooms, where Dian Style was able to take that. But waiting on the map pick here for Overdosed.
yep, 3-0.
Yep. And Deimos is going to look to throw out the next player as well. Maybe looking to counter pick OD. Which, if they've been counter picking OD, they've been very, very good at it. Very good at it.
I'd like to personally thank Fugu and Mr. Keats for following. Thank you very much.
Yay!
Much appreciation. Many follow. Such wow.
Oh, Lord. And then they immediately unfollow you after that.
Yeah, this is a Doge-friendly stream, everybody.
Well, we're still waiting on the map pick for Fantasy Skyman here, and another Terran player being thrown out by OD. Lots of Terrans. Lots of Terrans tonight. I like that. Frost. Why does it say it's 2 players? No, it is the right map. What? Okay, sure. Well, now just to get everybody in here.